Oh, it's Judy Japan and Tab, bringing you the recipe for one good ass brunch time. Some of the hottest topics, a pinch of good vibes and humor, a handful of raw and uncut opinions, and a whole lot of passion. Be sure to tune in every Wednesday on Facebook Live, and on Fridays you can catch the podcast version on all podcasts and more. This episode of Brunch Time is sponsored by Black and Studios and Sugar Sugar Beauty Bar. Be sure to check them out on Facebook and Instagram. Hey Tab, what's going on today?
How did that? Did it feel weird saying "Hey Tap" instead of
Yeah,
"Hey Jonesy"?
yeah, really weird.
But much love to Jonesy. He can't be with us today, but hopefully he's here with us in spirit. But today on Brunch Time, on our menus is once again not so much a quarantine special, but we still ain't eating directly with each other. I think you two got well, Tyler or Japan, you got Chef D.
Mm. So,
No,
shout out Chef
ooh,
D. Yeah,
ooh, ooh.
Shout
shout out
out.
Chef D. He is super booked up in the city right now. Like he's taken off. By the time that the brunch time was able to hit him up and actually put in our order, he was sold out. And again, it's completely on me. I was a little bit delayed in getting in contact about the food allergy situation.
Yeah.
But it's okay. He'll be on there next week, and we'll be able to order early, and we'll be all set. So
All
shout
right,
out to Chef
cool.
D.
Okay,
But I
well,
have Empire Spice House.
well,
Is what I
but
have.
just let me pause you then. Let me just keep
Oh,
on reading then.
oh.
So I guess we are still hitting the quarantine special, and for our hot topics today, is everyone included in Black Lives Matter, and why did relationships last longer in the past than they do present day? So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into our foods. In Japan, go ahead and start us off real quick. What you munching on over there?
What's good, world? It's your boy Japan, of course, really representing all the gays across the land for the month of June, celebrating Pride.
Is
And
that
shout
pink
out to
hair?
all my, yes,
You got the
pink
pink?
hair don't care. Yes,
Best color in the world.
well, I have to let them know.
Next to
Do something
black.
for the month of
Next to black.
June.
Next to black.
Yes.
Let's not. Y'all being disrespectful today. It's cool. It's cool. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. I see what type of show we gonna have.
But those colors together are so wonderful. But yeah. So it's your boy Japan, of course, representing the gays across the land. Shout out for World Pride for the month of June. I am currently eating Empire Slice House. Um,
Mmm.
I
Which one'd you get?
have
Really good.
so I have pepperoni and I honestly don't know. I did like a whole bunch of like every single seagull slice that they had for the day. I just told it a bit, put it in the box and run it out to me.
Mm.
So if you're familiar with any of them, Tap, I don't know, like, do you remember any off the top of your head?
I think they got one that's called like the Uncle Buck. Uh, that's the one that I think I've always favored it. Um,
Okay.
I really, I know they got another one that has like barbecue chips on it. That's
Okay.
that's
Okay.
that was another one that I used to mess with heavy.
Did you
Um,
say barbecue chips?
yeah, like like Lay's barbecue chips. They like crunch it up and just sprinkle on it, and it's fire.
Well,
Mm.
I don't know which ones I have, but I will describe the interesting ones that I do have. My favorite one that I do know is the Figgy Stardust there. It has figs on it. It's so good, but they didn't have it available for the individual one.
Mm.
But I'm gonna try this one that has pickles, tomatoes, and it looks like mustard on it.
Huh. Go on, put it
So
on
yeah.
camera real quick.
It is.
Oh, okay.
Those gross.
Huh, it looks like
Look.
just a yellow mess. Sometimes the messy ones are the best ones. Judy, what you eating?
I was about to eat Zaxby's, but my mama saved the day. And if you know me, you know Granny got the best cooking ever. I'm trying to talk her into getting a food truck or something. But anyways, long story short, I got steak. I got a baked potato with cheese and bacon bits on there, and I got butter, of course. And then I got a salad, and it got lettuce and red cabbage, tomatoes, cucumbers, cheese, bacon bits, and my dressing is Catalina, the tangy tomato bacon or whatever.
Oh,
You
you
know what I'm
eating?
talking about.
Y'all both eat, man.
Mm-hmm.
So,
What you
I
got,
was
Tap? What's
I,
good?
I was
What you
fasting
eating?
today, and I
I'm
decided
sorry.
to. No, it's cool. I like to fast every now and then. Helps you clear your mind. I think I ate too much peanut butter yesterday, so that's what initiated the fasting. But I went to Drum Roll or Drum Room off of Western and like 50th, between 50th and I think 47th Street. Normally I get like the fried chicken sandwich or waffle sandwiches. So they got 2 pieces of waffle, chicken in the middle, fire. Today they didn't have it. They already had sold out. So I allowed this lady to convince me that I would want a chicken sandwich with bacon. That now I'm looking at it. Now that I'm looking, it just looks disgusting. Fried pickles, which feels like I'm just eating fried batter. And some chicken with, I do say this, the tangy barbecue sauce is good. But yeah, that's what I thought I was going to eat. What is this? Yeah, see, this is, and everybody in chat, y'all know I love my white brothers and sisters out there. I just don't feel like y'all know how to cook bacon right. Like,
how do you like your bacon? Because I feel like bacon should not be crunchy. Like, it is not. That's not bacon anymore.
I don't know if you can see this on cam. Let me zoom. Let me see if that. Does that look like bacon? I don't think it's zooming, or I don't think it's gonna focus on you. I eat turkey bacon, and I also eat pork bacon. So turkey bacon, it don't really have to be crispy. I do like crispy bacon, especially if it's pork. But I don't like soft pink bacon. Like, anyways, I got some wine. I have some wine, and I got my 2 buddies with me, so we're gonna have a good time.
Wine makes everything better, okay?
So I know Jonesy normally goes into a unique commercial break, and we're just gonna roll into our first topic. Especially with the state of the world going on right now. Actually, let me go and actually play the video, actually, for everybody who don't know about this. Japan, do you know her name? You know how to pronounce it? Is it Ayana?
Miss Ayana Dior.
Ayana Dior is a trans woman who got brutally assaulted and abused and attacked. And like I said, oh snap, Judy, I forgot I still got the old video. Yeah, where'd you send it to me at?
I sent it to you via email with the
Yeah, I'll just play that one. That one was kind of long, so I was trying to get like a shorter version of it.
I think I sent it to you. Oh, on Messenger.
No, I didn't pop up
on Messenger.
On Facebook Messenger.
Yes.
No,
sister, do not be putting my business out there like that. I actually do like my bacon like not crispy. I like it soft. Like, that is the best kind of bacon in the world. Like, I feel like if it's crunchy, it's not bacon anymore. It's not even food.
No, that's not true. You just never had the correct kind then, clearly.
No.
I have some commentary for you on the after hours, but yeah, crispy bacon all the way.
Let's see here. So I thought I had the video. Me and Judy just kind of disconnected on that. But Japan, if you could describe what people will see if they watch the video.
So essentially, what you will see is essentially about 7 to 10 to 15 different cisgender women
20.
and heterosexual men, probably 20 plus, attacking one, trans woman inside of a store initially. So I'll give a couple of different backstories on, what the media is saying that happened versus what Miss Ayana Dior is saying happened. And then you guys can kind of determine, where the truth lies somewhere in between there.
Okay.
So essentially what Miss Ayana Dior said when she went on her interview, that's also available on YouTube, is that she ended up being either at a rally or it was just, I guess, a group of people
it looked
together,
like they was chilling at the store, like let out at the store or something.
I actually got the video now, but I'm going to mute it because of the language, so you can still commentate over it. Okay?
Absolutely. So essentially, that there was a gathering, or let out, or an aftermath gathering, or just whatever was going on at this time. It was a large group of people, at a store, Apparently her friends were drinking and chilling, by the store, by a house, and they wanted her to go ahead and move the car, I guess, because they were drinking. And they wanted to move the car closer. So she stated that she ended up moving the car, and in the process of moving the car, she ended up hitting 3 other cars in the process. Which is like, a huge red flag there. Yeah, that's a lot. So of course, if some people see that, you've hit 3 cars, everyone's going to get a little bit rowdy. So I guess the situation ended up getting heated. And she started having an argument between, the cisgender woman and herself. And I guess, some heterosexual men saw it. They didn't like it. And it ended up turning physical is what Miss Iyanna Dior is saying happened. The other side of that, that's being said by some people who were there, is that upon her getting out the car and the argument ensuing, they actually had a physical altercation. Again, the trans woman ended up putting her hands on a cisgender woman, which at that point, heterosexual men ended up jumping in. So again, it's kind of 50-50 on what the situation is. So yeah, that's kind of the backstory of what happened in the 2 different versions of it.
That's crazy. So I guess let me just jump in and ask one of the questions is, so because of this and a lot of other things happen, I think there's always death in the transgender community, murders, violent attacks on them. And the what we're talking about today is that there has been a Trans Lives Matter movement that has always been there, but has sparked now, especially since there's more ears into the culture, if I can use that term correctly. And one of the questions is that Jonesy had proposed for us is that are we all equal in Black Lives Matter movement? I will join in first. I don't normally I go last, but I'm gonna give y'all that tap pleasure today of me being first. Especially since y'all eating. So are we all equal? Period. By God's standard, yes. By human anatomy, yes. By society, no. And that's where, everything that's going on now, that's what we're trying to achieve. That's what the civil rights movement, the women's rights movement, the LGBT. So y'all better back me up. LGBTQ.
TQ. And then I think it's like an I there now.
Cool.
No.
And I'm gonna tell y'all on the after show where the I came in at. We do not associate with it.
Okay.
Oh, my apologies. So
and actually, I'm gonna educate everybody too, because a lot of people
educate me real quick,
wrong.
just because I'm still getting the letters lost. Go ahead.
No, it's fine, because for some reason it slipped through, and for a little bit I was saying it, but the I is for trans identity.
What's the T stand for then?
Well,
Trans.
that's trans.
The
I is still trans identity, but it's more so for identity. Do y'all know what that is?
Is that like what they want to be known as?
No. And I think I just said something wrong. It's the trans age identity, essentially. So long story short, there's a group of people who want to be associated and have the same rights as the LGBTQ. And they're saying that these are the people who like children. And they're saying that in their mind, they're a child. So it's okay for them to like children.
Pedos.
Pedophile, yeah. Like pedophilia, essentially. And so now they're trying to associate themselves with this group. But it's like, yeah, no, absolutely not. So no, absolutely not.
Okay.
But yeah, my bad. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. So, I was talking to a couple people earlier about this, and like I said, in black and white, is everybody equal? No, they're not. Should they be? Yes, they should. And I think that's what Jonesy was really asking when he proposed this question. Right now, I feel like it is a black. It's addressing the black issues. Black issues meaning racial issues that happen no matter what gender you are. The black issues that come into play. I believe, and this is just coming from a older, straight black male, especially a male. I want to make sure that's known. So I have a male privilege. that I do feel like the trans community, from me just researching this and seeing all these other stories that popped up, it's very horrific what they go through. It's very scary, even. Let's say I have two nephews that are, I believe, what do you call it? Transitioning. There we go. Sorry, transitioning, and I can only imagine some of the stuff happened to them. It would put me in rage and break my heart. But I feel like what their battle is different than a racial issue. It's a gender issue. Just like how women had to get their rights to be equal to man. How to get their rights just to be heard and get paid, try to get paid, and you're trying to get their rights because it's still far, screwed up. I feel like that's a whole different battle to attack, because it's a gender issue, and it's a I don't think too many people are educated on what's really, that community. So that's my take on this right now. Japan or Judy, y'all want to shed y'all's little 50 cents on that?
That's all it is. Wow.
More than two. Most people only get two. Don't come on.
I'm a golden dollar, baby.
Mm-hmm.
But
you hear me? We was thinking the same thing.
But you want to go first, Judy, or what's up?
Okay, let me see.
And actually, let me just do this. Let me just throw all three questions at y'all. The first one was: Are we all equal in Black Lives Matter movement? Why was this trans attack? We kind of, we feel like we may know she injured some cars, and then, words got put back and forth, and then they just start beating her, just embarrassing her pretty much, and attacking her. And the second question is trans lives matter equal to all lives matter? All right, go ahead. And people in chat, feel free to also chime in and let us know what you guys think.
Chat's booming, FYI. It's interesting.
It is. I'm interacting with them. Are we all equal in the Black Lives Matter movement? I honestly, y'all, save y'all comments, okay? But
no, they ain't about to save nothing. I'm reading the comments. They feeling good today.
So I feel like, yes, all lives do matter. All lives matter. If we're stating it as all lives matter, yes. The trans lives matter, I feel like we should save that for a later time, because right now we're focusing on Black lives. That's what matters. All Black lives matter for that. That. And why was this trans attack? We already answered that one. Is trans lives matter? No, I don't feel like trans lives matter is equal to all lives matter. Only because, that's just like saying mixed lives matter is the same thing as all lives matter. It's not, because everybody's not mixed. So, no, I don't think that it's equal to all lives matter. I feel like if you are Black trans, you matter.
Well, here, let me say this. I think what Jonesy was trying to say, how people be like, all lives matter when we're saying Black Lives Matter. So now that we have another group saying trans lives matter, is that the same effect of someone saying all lives matter? Or is that a movement that deserves to be recognized because they're not feel like they matter right now? So, how, like I said, when all lives matter, it goes down to that whole analogy, if you say all lives matter and you have a group of people, saying that their lives aren't mattering, shouldn't you focus on that group? So now we have two groups, Black and trans, arguing, or not arguing, but trying to allow or tell the world that we don't feel like our lives are mattering. But do you feel like they're just taken away from Black Lives Matter? by saying
No, I feel
trans
like they're
lives
trying
matter.
to make, they're trying to stand up for, right now with everybody standing up for the Black lives, I feel like they're trying to stand up for the trans lives because of the way she was done. And then she was trying to get that dude to help her. Did you see him snatch his arm away? Like, do not touch me. But, yeah, that's like, no.
Japan, you want to talk, man?
Of course. What's the good world? It's your boy Japan. And so my thought process to like directly answer the question. So I'm gonna answer it in two parts. In tap,
Cool, 'cause there's 3 questions. Go ahead. I'm just messing with you. Go ahead.
This guy. No, I'm joking. So I agree with what you're saying. And I kind of am going to go back to kind of what I was saying about the eye. Unfortunately, trans is already kind of grouped in with, gay, if that makes sense, when in reality, like Tap was saying, it's not really the same thing. It's more of like a gender, in my opinion, a deeper mental thing. I think it's all mental, don't get me wrong. But that's something that's a little separate. But to directly like answer the question, do I feel that all lives are equal in Black Lives Matter? In my opinion, no, I don't think so, simply because I know for a fact that there is a good majority, by looking at things unfold on Twitter and on Facebook and social media, of the Ayana Dior thing, and people having hashtags on Twitter and people just having different commentary about them actually not needing members of the LGBTQ as a part of the Black Lives Matter. I mean, the comment and just the pure, disgrace from a lot of people who are, again, a part of the same community that we're all supposed to be a part of is a little shocking. But it kind of, again, in my opinion, lets me know that no, we're not all viewed as equal, because if you still have hate within the Black Lives Matter movement, what does it look like for me, as a gay male, to go down, fight for all these rights, possibly get shot, possibly get, tased, or whatever the case may be, and then to have a breakthrough, be a part of that, these laws and these different things get pushed through and we get what we're working for. But then in the same breath, turn around and not only have the same people in my community, but also other people looking down on us for being in a different category. When I just stood by your side, I just fought with you. I just did everything that I could to make sure that Black lives actually mattered. But now that the smoke and the dust has settled, LGBTQ lives don't matter with the Black lives.
So I will say this, and I'm glad you, I'm going to jump on what you're just saying just then, because I do feel like you're Black first. That's your race. And, I think with being a part, and I know it's not a choice and whatnot, but because you are a, Black trans or a Black gay, or, you now have 2 checklists, 2 check boxes on your list of equalness. I think even if you battle for the race portion of it, that's something you can check off. You can check off that part. Like, now, cool, I'm Black. I ain't got a fear getting pulled over, and before the cop even knows if I'm transgender or gay, they're just automatically going to knock me on it. Well, now they'll see a Black person, and I know they ain't going to trip on that. Or there's laws protecting me from this now. Okay, now I said something. Now they may think I'm gay or a trans and whatnot. And that's another issue that definitely does need to be handled. But I also feel like this. Right now is Black Lives Matter. And my closing statement that I have for this is that I believe that even within the Black community, what we have to do, now that we're seeing small changes, and it's changes. No one can argue against that. Whether you feel like they're big or small, change is happening. Now that we are getting over this, we must help other communities. Period. They're supporting us. We should support them. We should support the Muslim community. We should support the Jewish community. We should support the trans, gay, lesbian community. Even as a straight male, as you two know, I'm trying my hardest to understand the gay community, and to let go of a lot of things that I used to say in the past that I didn't realize was hurtful. And I think Judy even made us a Pride image of Black in Studios that I'm excited to, share and, update my profile with. But we have to attack the problem that we have now. And as a Black community, we must remember the faces of people who helped us. And when they are going through something, we must also speak up with them too. Especially right now. And that's kind of where I'm going to leave that at. Drop that gem on y'all real quick. Let y'all marinate on that.
Can I say something though?
No, I'm just joking. Go ahead.
I'm going to say this though. I agree 110% what you said, but I'm going to give you a but. I think the perception is that, we're Black first, but the problem is that the Black community does not view gay people as Black first. So until we get to that understanding and that we're actually viewed as Black first and well within the community, I think that that's an understanding. And I also think something with what you said that's interesting to me that I'm going to have to marinate on is the bigger question. And again, nothing to my Caucasians or any other race that's out there watching us, is Black Lives Matter. So the Black gay people within Black Lives Matter. But what you said was Black Lives Matter is the movement right now. And then we need to start looking into the Jews and this community and this community. That's still extracting gay people out of Black lives and saying, okay, let's do the Black lives and then we'll get back in.
And I guess, and I'm glad you mentioned that. And I guess I say that out of ignorance because I view you as a Black man. I view Judy as a Black woman. Those are the first two things that I view y'all as. And I'm learning that, being a part of that community is more than just a sexual preference. So because of that, it's almost just like a white person is just ignorant of racism stuff that's going on. And now through the dialogue that we're able to have and people are able to listen to Black people, they're able to understand through conversations like this, disagreements and whatnot, that, I don't live what you guys have to deal with. I don't have to. Unfortunately enough, I got my own problems, but I don't have to have those extra problems that y'all have. And so because of that, I think a lot of us who are straight, whatnot, we do need to be educated. Like I said, that blew my mind what you just said, that people will look at you as a gay person before they will look at you as a Black man. That blows my mind, honestly. And so I never knew that. And yeah, I guess I'm not going to give you the credit that you got me marinating on something, but whatever. But no, seriously though. Seriously, you say what?
It's simmering like neck bone juice.
You know what? I've never had neck bone.
Not neck bone juice.
Yeah, I couldn't even relate.
That's some good
what?
juice.
And y'all want to talk about Japan's theater? What? No.
What?
Later.
Sorry.
Later. Give me. Oh, can I? There we go.
But anyways, at that moment, you ain't never taken my car, player. But on that moment, we are going to take our first commercial break. I know Jonesy's like, man, they running right now. They stressing me out right now. But we're going to take our first commercial break, and we'll be right back with the first time.
Alrighty.
That was the first.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, chat's blowing up, man.
Chat.
Yeah, so listen.
Hey, wait, real quick. I want to give a sorry, Judy, go ahead.
You was gonna get that, huh?
Yeah, I was. My bad.
But go ahead.
I want to give a huge shout out to everybody in chat. Shout out to Tony Crawford or Tony Churchill. He is a Churchwell. I'm butchering his name. He's one of our new YouTubers here at Blackest Studios. Go check them out at Macrodie, and also go ask your daddy, or go ask your daddy on Facebook and Macrodie on YouTube. Two funny dudes. They record every Tuesday about 7 p.m. all the way up until 9 p.m. at night. Funny topics. Go check them out. Show them some love. Go ahead, Judy.
Listen, I didn't even know that was Tony.
Yeah, I wonder why.
I grew up with his kids and stuff. Well, his kids, I watched them grow up.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah. But shout out to everybody that is in the chat interacting with us. We greatly appreciate every single one of you guys. You guys can also join our Patreon. If you're a grandma or you like one of them aunties that go to church all the time, And
Hey,
you
that's
like
down.
holy sanctified, and you just be telling on
That's
every
down.
single last one of them Facebook posts, stay home. Please stay home. But yes, that's where it gets live. It's lit on the Patreon. So you guys want to jump in with Jennifer because she's one of our Patreon.
Oh yeah, in Japan, go and give them a little. Nah, can we preview it?
Preview what?
But after hours gonna be about today.
Yes.
Yeah,
definitely, y'all.
just a little bit, Japan.
I'm gonna hit him with the verse. Oh wait, no. I
Yeah.
forgot about it.
Yeah, just
Yeah. So,
Just one time for the one time. Come on.
oh yeah. Okay. So listen, this is what I'm gonna say. If you can't fuck 3 times a night, peace.
wow,
Okay.
you really did.
Peace.
Okay.
Y'all know
Peace.
that's off of. Listen.
Right. Look it up.
That's what we're gonna be talking
$20
about.
cash
So-
app to the person who inboxes us where that verse came from.
Can I participate in this?
No, you
Like,
cannot.
Man, y'all be on
Well,
some
cash app
funny
is
stuff,
$20.
man.
If you can't fuck 3 times
$20.
a night, peace.
All right. We ain't gotta keep cussing. We'll let you slide with one. All right, let's bring it
Listen,
back.
they had to know it one more time. So,
All right, well, welcome back to the Brunch Time, episode 20. Are we all equal? We just had a beautiful discussion about what's been going on in the Black Lives Matter movement and also the Trans Lives Matter movement. And chat, thank you guys for really chiming in. Keith said something I wanna speak on it. No, well, I'm just gonna read it because it's good. He said it's sad because so many heterosexual men somehow don't consider gays as humans. It's sort of the same ignorance that racist whites have towards black. You're absolutely right, man. I had that discussion earlier. I was like, their lives aren't even like human. Like it's the way that they're treated. And I think we all should take. Hopefully everybody took something from this, and especially right now with everybody trying to understand each other's situations. Maybe actually sit down and listen to a gay person or a person of that community, including the trans, on just what they go through. Just let them vent. And then that way you can start taking something from it and, figuring out where you can fit in to help out. So part B of this, and we're going to try to keep moving through this pretty quickly. Oh shoot, I forgot something that Jones would be doing. So this show is also brought to you by Blackest Studios, Sugar Beauty, and also Bowler Law Firm. You can check them all out on Instagram, Facebook. This is my Jonesy voice. Do he be licking his lip all the time, Japan?
Yes, slightly.
I figured you would know. Sorry. So on topic 2, of this episode of Brunch Time, we got why did our grandparents and great grandparents relationships last longer than today's generation? What role does feminism play? Why are grandmothers getting cheated on and staying? Or were grandmothers getting cheated on and staying? Is it because where women's rights were at? And then his final little proposal question was, men are less interested in being a husband and more interested in being a hoe.
Period.
That's an interesting topic. Who wants to go first on this one?
That.
And chat, let us know how you guys are feeling. Do you guys
Then
feel
I think
like...
I vote to go first.
Oh, there you go.
Listen,
Japan, take
what's
us
the
away.
world?
Huh?
Of course, it's your boy Japan, representing all the gays, and we're back in the promised land. Listen, my opinion. Okay, Tap, can you repeat the question for me?
Just pretty much why do old people last longer in relationships than what we are now?
No,
Or-
what was the subtitle of Jonesy that Jonesy gave us? The Jonesy question.
Oh, that's what I
What
asked.
role does feminism?
Oh, you're talking about that. My bad. Yeah. What role? Yeah, does feminism play? Where our grandmothers just getting cheating on and just staying? Is it because of women's rights, and is it just because man nowadays just rather be a hoe than a faithful husband, or a husband?
got
Period.
you. So I'll break it down in 3 pieces. Why I feel that relationships lasted a little bit longer in the olden days versus today. I just think that the women were a little bit more apt to take a lot of BS. They have the mentality that they literally have to stick with their husbands through whatever, whether they got cheated on, whether 4 kids up the block look just like their kids around the exact same age. They still stuck by their husbands, still, wrote it out. Just because I felt like it was one, more of like a mental thing that probably was instilled and passed down, from their parents, if that makes sense. And then I think that it eventually faded out, kind of again, and this is, a piece of what Miss Judy, I'm sure, is going to add in. Social media, I think is a huge piece as well. I think within
sorry to interrupt you, but just to make sure I understand it. So you feel like back then, since a woman's role was to stay at home, be there for the kids and whatnot, like that was just her role, period. She probably couldn't go out and find a successful man and whatnot. That's just kind of what made them just stay.
No, not at all. I think it's more of a mental thing. Like she was raised by her mother who, she saw go through a lot, get cheated on, maybe abuse, whatever the case may be. But in the olden days, you did not leave your husband. You didn't leave your wife. It wasn't like a normal thing, to just hop, skip, and leave. It was almost frowned upon, if that makes sense. And to my understanding as well, people who are considered to be divorced, especially back in the day, were frowned upon or looked at, kind of weird during those times. So I think it's more so of a mental thing being passed down from generation to generational. So generational curses, which is one. And then just the mode of that time period and not being accessible to that many people. In 2020, social media, you can get out of a relationship and then be in a relationship tomorrow. I don't think back then it was necessarily that easy because they weren't swiping left or, swiping right.
Yeah.
And I think that is somebody just won the $20. Shout out to Kenyatta, our show supporter. And Black business.
Shout out.
I think she already knew the answer.
Who
don't? No, I don't think so.
I'm just messing. Go ahead.
No. But listen, it's a legend. Who don't know? Look, we'll get him some lunch next show.
Yeah, I need some. I'm upset. I didn't get to participate. I got some BS food right in front of me. Go ahead, Japan.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. Generational curses, and then not having the accessibility. That's the first portion of why I feel like our grandparents' relationships lasted longer than currently in 2020. The role of feminism, how does that play a part in today? That plays a part just because I feel, in my opinion, women aren't as submissive these days. Women have become so strong and so independent that they don't need a man for a goddamn thing at the end of the day. And I think that is where a lot of the disconnect comes, because I know that if I would want to settle down with a woman, I would want my woman to be completely submissive to me. I would want her to, cook, just kind of do the old thing.
You're kind of, you have like what do you guys call it? Masculine toxicity?
Oh, wow. Toxic masculinity?
There we go. Yeah, I knew how to say it. I just wanted to hear you say it. Yeah, go ahead. Oh, shoot. I struck a nerve. I done lifted the mirror back up at this boy. Sorry, I didn't even try to call you a boy. It's this man. Sorry.
This is not the slave days.
Yeah. I apologize about that. Judy, how you feel about it?
Oh, child. Listen. So, you're not my child. You chose to be my child. If you was my child, there would be a problem in the picture.
You would be all gray haired.
Okay, but I feel like the reason why our grandparents and great grandparents' relationships lasted longer than today's generation is because Grandma didn't have Facebook to run to. Grandma couldn't put all her problems talking about Papa cheating on her because of the kids that live 4 houses down that look like her kids that's around the same age. And, all Grandma had was the phone and Miss Shirley to listen, or Barbara to listen. You hear me? And most of the time, like, they really were staying because that's what they were taught. Like, that's what they seen growing up. And a lot of the times it's really just like they want to be together for their family. Like, they just want their family to work and they want to stay together because they want their kids to have a family, and mama ain't happy, and daddy just still cheating. So, it's just like they're like, okay, we just have to be happy for the family, you know. So the kids get out of high school, and once they get out of high school, then we can, you know, go our separate ways. But they just be wanting that, like, that image, you know. What was the other question?
I think that pretty much sums it up a little bit. Let me ask you this: what about modern day? Do you just feel like men just want to be hoes instead of, you know, settling down? I think that.
No, I really don't feel like men just want to be hoes instead of settling down. I really feel like it's just more of a, I want to be young again. Like, this is getting old. Like, we're doing the same thing. Like, we do the same positions, and let me go mess with this girl, and she gonna give me, you know,
the business.
I don't even think I can say that.
No, we can just keep it like that. Yeah. We keep it G-rated. The business. If you don't know what it is, you know, just send a web.
Tune in later. But yeah, she gonna give me the business, and you know, I'm gonna be happy, and not even happy. I'm just gonna be satisfied for that moment, and then I'll go back to my family because this is what's right.
That's I give you guys both. Y'all have some great perspectives on this situation of why did our grandparents and our parents and our great grandparents marriages last longer. Man, I'm surprised none of y'all just said maybe they were just happy. Like, I be seeing old people together. Wait, let me finish.
Oh, sorry.
Let me finish. It's cool. I'll let you speak. Let me speak. You know, I know I'm just, never mind, I ain't gonna go there. But, why can't they just be happy? Like, I see old couples truly just look happy together. Not all of them, I'm not gonna say that, but I be seeing they still holding hands. The man has opened the door for his wife. I mean, it takes more than just, well, because this is an image for 50 years, and that's the reason why I stuck with her or stuck with him. I feel like back then, they didn't have a lot of the distractions that we have now. Nowadays, we have social media, we have, you know, a lot more fakeness and a lot more unreal situations. I'll put it like that. You know, you can have people bragging about how lavish their life is and whatnot, or all this stuff, and, you know, when they actually off the phone and whatnot, you know, they're miserable. But because we don't really know what's real and what's real and unreal out here, the perception is everybody living a better life than we are. And I think back then, outside from just looking at your neighbor or maybe just hearing what they're saying on the phone, you know, I don't think people really saw it as bad as we see it now. And I really think back then, people were just old and happy. Shoot, why can't we just give it to that? They was just happy. And I think nowadays we're so busy comparing our relationships with other people or comparing our relationship with this and that. You know, it's hard for us to find happiness. I can go down a rabbit hole on that one, but that's just my take.
I agree with Jennifer too, though. She said sometimes they're happy because they don't know better. They never had anything else to experience, so nothing to compare it to. So that kind of tied into what you just said. Like, they don't have nothing to compare it to. Like,
I think once you find happiness, I think once you find happiness and it satisfies you, it's like eating food. Once you eat a satisfying meal, you're good. You are, and I'm not saying the food's gonna go away, you're gonna get hungry. We're not going down there, okay? But I'm just saying you are satisfied. That feeling right there, if someone can give you that feeling day after day, month after month, year after year, you don't want nothing else. That's almost like a conversation we all had a couple of nights before recording this show, talking about sexual preference. Like, if I'm fine with, we'll say that for after hours. Yeah, we'll jump in that after hours. But I'm just saying, like, I think sometimes when you're given too many options, too many choices, and everything like that, you become indecisive. You become always greedy. You become greedy. You become, I want this, I want that, and then you will never find happiness because you're not going to find all traits in one person. Let me knock this mic down and drop it.
Because I also
give me some likes in these comments. You say what?
They are going up though. They are going up. But I'm gonna
Yes,
say
they
this.
are.
I
I
feel
cannot
just
keep up.
you hear me? But to really
I'm
piggyback off of what
trying.
you said, Tab, if you go around and you're looking for different people and you're getting bored, and I'm gonna kind of piggyback, Keith, you stated something about just being bored and agreeing, with Judy with that. I kind of get that, but that kind of scares me because if you're bored and you're constantly looking for something in multiple people, I just feel like you're lost and you're looking for something that you're never going to be able to find. And you just have all these people that you're experiencing, but you're never really just, I don't know, like you're forever in limbo. You're forever opening yourself up to all this different energy and all this different love, and none of it's really legitimate, in my opinion, because you're experiencing so many different people.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I think that that's interesting. That's just my thought process on it.
And just to have Jonesy feel like he's a part of this conversation, he had a couple of messages, but I'm just gonna read the one I'm able to see right now because you guys are killing it in chat right now and we're loving it. But people don't value marriage. A lot of marriages today are for social media purposes only, not for God's purposes. Boy, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. That was good, Jonesy. That was real good and real powerful. He's right. I think a lot of people do a lot of things just for the glam of social media, just for those likes, when they're really not even really focusing on, what their partner wants or the needs of their, what they really want in life. I mean, even yourself. I mean, I think if you're focusing so much on, posting good pictures and all this cool stuff, then, are you even, there's no way that can truly make you happy. But,
exactly.
They don't be happy.
It's dopamine.
They just look happy.
Yeah, you just look happy.
I'm gonna read one last comment from our CEO of our local business that we're going to be plugging. Ms. Cherish stated, "I think people in our generation give up too easy. My grandparents went through hell to be together because they were of a different races. But I feel like there's so many easy outs. They laugh at our problems. LOL. They say that that's nothing." So again, pretty much saying that everyone's so easy to give up and saying that, oh, there is nothing that, it's like pretty much you have a whole bunch of cutoffs. Like, oh, just because you did this, oh, I'm done, next person. Or, oh, just because I got cheated on one time, oh, that's it. But yeah, that's just what I wanted to add.
Cool. And I'm glad that you mentioned the business plug. Let's go ahead and move right into that. Japan, take it away.
All right, what's good, world? It's your boy Japan, of course, representing all the gays across the land. It is Pride Month in June, so I gotta keep on shedding light to that. Shout out to all my prideful folks, and shout out to my folks who are still in their turtle shells. We see you, come out when you're ready, no pressure. So we have a local business plug today. I'm so excited to tell you about. This is a brand new local business. The CEO of the business, her name is Ms. Cherish. She is a supporter of the show. She's been supporting us for a while, so we definitely want to have the opportunity to support her and bring light to her beautiful new local business. The local business is called Freshies by Sea. These are beautiful car freshies. They have multiple different shapes and colors and smells.
Describe what a freshie is, if you don't mind.
Ooh, okay, so the description of a freshie is going to be a car air freshener, something that is a little bit fresher than your standard car air freshener. So when you think of a car air freshener, it's like bland and boring, but a freshie, it has colors to it, has shine to it. It makes you think about, like one of hers that I had, I just imagine myself, it takes you to a place. It's like a mood. Imagine sitting on a beach, but you're driving in your car on your way to your stressful job. And that's what a freshie's for, it just brightens up your car. Exactly. So I'm going to give a little bit of information on where you guys can reach out to her, where you can order her freshies, and a little bit of quick information about this local business. And again, some of the pictures she'll be showing there. She has different shapes and sizes. She has seahorses, sharks. I saw state of Oklahoma, just a multitude of different shapes, sizes, and colors. I'm sure she can custom make some things. So definitely reach out to her and check out her Facebook at Freshies by Sea.
I have one, but it's in my car, so I can't show y'all.
Yes, mine's in my car too, as well. But you guys can go on the Facebook. You can check out the photos. You can check out the reviews. And are there pictures on the
Oh,
screen?
we uploaded some too. Sorry.
Yeah, they're all up there.
Yeah. So all the pictures should be on the screen there as well. So just really quickly, this local business was established in May of 2020. We asked what motivated you to create this local business. She stated to us, being a mom and working full time, I found myself in a place where I felt like that all I did was really wanted to find. Hold on one second. She felt that all I did was really wanted to find something that made me happy and that I could do as a break from adulting for a bit. I started making air fresheners for myself and family, and it kind of blew up from there. I'm loving all the love and support that I have received. So essentially, she just wanted to find something that is just outside of the normal algorithm, of every day. That's kind of fun.
That's cool. Much love to you, Cherish. Good job. I'm glad that we was able to plug your business. And I wouldn't mind a custom, maybe like a moon or yeah. I don't know. Yeah, that's cool. I might have to hit you up.
Okay. Well, your shark is still on the way.
Oh, I thought I wanted a snake. So. See, you got the wrong order.
Oh, see, well, this is
that's how they treat me. That's how they treat me. That's how they treat me. They don't feel like I do no work in here.
Oh my gosh! But again, yes, you can follow her on Facebook, Freshies by C. Go check out her Facebook page and place all of your orders. Again, Freshies by C on Facebook.
Yeah, I know, Cherish. I know you're in chat. Hopefully, you still are. If you can, just go ahead and put your link in the chat real quick, Judy, if you don't mind pinning that as well, so that way people can just easily see it.
So do I get to call you C now?
Look, okay.
So to wrap up this beautiful episode of the Brunch Time, we got Japan's Theater, and this one was brought to you by right here Tap. Tap gave him this the star player who's giving him nothing but gold hits. Gave him this one. Men's Society, Japan. Just let the praising start. Go ahead, man. What'd you think about Men's Society? Now, one thing I will say, I can't do the toilet or the applaud thing because I didn't get that thing ready, and I'm sitting on the other side of the table. Sorry.
You know what? The fans of Japan theaters are shunning you and have hexes.
They
right
should. They should.
But what's good, world? It's your boy Japan, of course, back with a bomb review of Japan's Theater. And of course, our boy Tap, aka Tapadamas, and gave me another platinum
Bam!
In the back tonight, okay? This one is Menace to Society, y'all. Menace to Society. Let me tell y'all. So,
Jonesy doubted me. I just want to put that on record. Jonesy didn't think Men's Society was going to get you. I was like, please. All I do is shoot buckets.
I'm definitely watching that multiple times. That's going to be playing in my background. That is.
He watched it at the lake.
Hey, that's a good place to watch it. You probably drove off feeling like you just ready to get into something too, weren't you?
I'm like, wait, yes, I broke
I feel like
okay.
I got a little bit more street knowledge, a street knowledge of confirmation, if that makes sense. Because
when I was looking for someone rolling on some Daytons. Where the Daytons at? I'm about to ride on somebody. Go ahead, my bad.
Look, okay, slide on this fool. Nah. So listen. So overall, just a quick rundown of it. It was a really good movie. It kept me entertaining. Like I always say, it wasn't cheap. It wasn't low budget. It was, real life street life stuff that I can, relate to. To my family that is in the chats in Houston. I grew up in a place called 44 Acres Home. It's super, super hood, and it reminded me of, their community and, kind of what they dealt with, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. What I also liked about it was a lot of the things that I picked up, I guess, from hearing either from my siblings, cousins, and stuff like that, came from that movie. And I didn't realize a lot of the things came from that movie. That movie has a lot of things that people use on a daily basis.
A lot.
The last thing that I would say is that it had a message, in my opinion, and the biggest message that I'm going to say, to my brothers who are still out there in the streets, still out there in the Jets project, whatever it may be. If you have an opportunity to leave, don't stay in a situation, so much as one day later, because it could cost you your life. It could change, something with you. And I kind of took the message out of it because I hated the ending, and I just couldn't believe that. I guess the somewhat innocent one in my eyes actually died, and O-Dog, wasn't the one who got shot.
O-Dog was my bad.
O-Dog was cool. O-Dog was cool, but he did a lot of bad stuff at the end of the day. I just feel like, the way the movie was going, I expected him to be the one to go,
That's that good storytelling.
Exactly. Yeah. But it is what it is. Overall, it will give a hoorah. It's Brunchtime Cruise, 5s across the board. I'll definitely watch it multiple times. So yeah, that's a black classic for sure. That's a platinum plaque.
Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. What does that make me? Am I like what? 3 for 3? 4 for 4?
You going up too high now?
No, I think I'm at least 3 for 3.
Yeah, why you?
Because I gave him juice.
Wendy's.
I gave him juice. I gave him In Society. I feel like there was one more. We'll have to look through the archives.
The only things that he watched was what? Menace to Society, Juice,
Coming to America.
So, did you watch Soul Food?
Yeah, he watched
a whole event. I had a Soul Food too.
Yeah.
Soul Food. And then what was the other one? It was
I would say Jonesy chime in, but
it was Money Making Mitch. I can't think of the name.
Oh no, he the Jamaican one. We watched that. And Bella.
Belly.
Oh,
Belly.
Shada's Belly.
Yeah.
What was the other one?
But them was Tanks though. Them was
Yeah, I know. They weren't mine. So with that,
I think you're 2 for 2.
No, I'm 3. I'm 3 for 3. You ain't gonna do me like that. Judy, it's about that time. I want to thank, for me as a fill-in host, I want to thank everybody who has joined this chat. This was a fun episode. Thank you, Jonesy, and the Brunch Time crew for trusting me into joining you guys more on a visual level. So Judy, go ahead and
just let y'all go. By the way,
Miss
Cherish did go ahead and drop her link down below.
Yes,
so go ahead and show her some love. But well, guys, that was fun. But for now, we have to get back to our everyday lives. So please go like our sponsors at Hareshis by C and at Bowler Law Firm. And you can also find our show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Brunch Time It Is. And don't forget to join us on Brunch Time After Hours. Y'all know it get lit.
Yeah, tonight we are. I'm going to say, yeah, like they said earlier. How many times? What would you say? If you can't, if you can't elf for 3 times in one night, then peace.
Peace.
So does that mean I still get to hit, and then I just didn't make it?
If you only last in 1 round, get your kitty stuff out of here.
You know what?
Yeah.
I agree.
That's like the hit it and quit it. Don't ever call my phone again.
Don't ever, because I'm embarrassed you.
I ain't greedy. So we'll be on Patreon.
Say, don't ever.
If you want to join us with our Patreons, go to patreon.com/brunch time. It's only $1, and this $1 supports us to be able to continue doing the show because Blackest Studios is a fair price studio that does cost. So if you guys want to support, give us $1 and we give you this funny, off the cuff, completely different vibe after our show. Thank you once again.
Funny.
I said funny.
Yeah.
And so lastly too, just in case you guys are listening, we did have a competition about the birth. Miss Kenyatta, she won that. That is closed. That $20 will be getting dished out. Love us.